There's this quiet revolution happening right on our screens. Artificial intelligence is slowly but surely becoming our co-pilot, and it's completely transforming how we learn and how we create. From the classroom to the artist studio, AI is changing the entire game. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that looks like. And it all really starts with this one simple but honestly pretty profound question. What if your classroom knew exactly how you learn? I mean, what if it could adapt in real time to your personal pace, your strengths, and those moments when you're just not getting it? So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll kick things off with AI's takeover of the classroom and how it's becoming a personal tutor. Then we'll get into its role as an unblinking eye for exams and as a brand new creative engine. And finally, we'll tackle the big one. Who actually gets to write the rules for all this? Okay, let's dive right into our first section, AI's classroom takeover. And I want to be clear, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. This is happening in schools right now. So AI is basically building a whole new world for education, and it's doing it in two huge ways: by creating these hyper-personalized learning experiences and by automating the entire assessment process. The implication here is massive. On one hand, this could level the playing field, giving every single student tailored support. But on the other, it completely changes the nature of testing and how we evaluate learning. Next up, let's look at the personal AI tutor, this idea of learning that literally adapts to you. This is where the technology starts to get really, really interesting, and maybe a little complex. As you can see here, there are really two main ways to go about this. On one hand, you've got systems like Vibe, that's virtual Blackboard environment, which actually watch your behavior to figure out what you need. And on the other hand, you have something called computer-assisted learning, or CAL, which is more about dynamically adjusting how difficult the material is. You can almost think of it as the difference between a tutor who observes how you work versus one who just keeps quizzing you to see where you're at. So let's focus on Vibe for a minute. Just try to imagine an AI that's trying to be the best teacher you've ever had, one that's always watching, constantly adapting, and always ready to jump in and help the second you get stuck. So how does it actually work? Well, it all starts with what we call behavior monitoring. The AI is tracking your clicks, your pauses, even when you replay a section, just to find patterns. Then it uses all that data for content adaptation, swapping in a different video or maybe some different quiz questions to help you really grasp the material. But here's the cool part. Vibe also gives instant feedback to both you and your instructor, flagging students who might need a little extra help in real time. And all this data comes together to create a completely unique learning profile for you. So the AI knows exactly what you've mastered and where you still need a bit more practice. Now, the technology behind this is pretty sophisticated stuff. It uses a type of AI that's constantly updating its belief about how well you understand something, kind of like a detective gathering clues about a case. Then it uses another type of AI to figure out the best next move, almost like one of those choose-your-own-adventure stories. Should it repeat a topic, or should it skip ahead? It all comes down to how you're interacting with the material. And listen, this isn't just some one-off experiment. There's a whole new wave of what are called intelligent tutoring systems from companies like Carnegie Learning and Squirrel AI, and they're all shooting for the same goal: to become your personal 24/7 digital tutor. Okay, so we have AI as a personal tutor designed to help you, but what happens when that exact same kind of monitoring technology is used to grade you? Well, that brings us to a much more controversial application: AI as the unblinking eye of exam proctoring. I mean, in a world where so much is remote, how do you make sure there's academic integrity? For a lot of institutions, AI proctoring systems are the answer. They watch for cheating by analyzing basically everything, from your face and your eye movements to your typing patterns, and they flag any behavior that the system considers unusual. So let's look at how this actually works in practice with a service like Examity. First, you'll have to authenticate your ID. Then, during the tests, the AI flags any suspicious moments for a human to review later on video. You'll also probably need to do a scan of your room with your camera. And finally, the whole thing generates a compliance report with what they call an integrity score. And Examity isn't the only player in this game. A tool called Metal, for example, completely locks down your browser so you can't search for answers. ProctorU takes a different approach. They have a live human proctor on standby who can jump into a chat if the AI detects anything weird. It's really a spectrum, from systems that are fully automated to ones that have a human in the loop. All right, let's completely switch gears now from the classroom to the creator's canvas. In this section, we're going to explore this new creative engine, AI, as a kind of digital muse for writers, artists, and musicians, and how it's changing what it even means to create something from scratch.
We can really break this down into 3 simple steps. First, AI learns to write. Then, AI learns to draw. And finally, AI learns to compose.
So let's start with writing. You've almost definitely heard of models like GPT-3. These large language models can generate text from a simple prompt that is surprisingly human-like. And we're talking about everything from articles and summaries to marketing copy and even functional computer code. It's basically like having a co-writer on call 24/7. Next up is drawing. And the amazing thing here is you don't even need to be an artist. You just need to be able to describe what you want to see. For example, you could just type, "a robot sitting on a park bench in the Impressionist style," and boom, the AI will generate that image for you, usually in just a few seconds. And finally, we have composition. With models like Meta's Music Gen and OpenAI's Jukebox, AI can now generate music, anything from a simple background melody to a fully realized track in pretty much any genre you can think of. The creative co-pilot has well and truly arrived. But all of this powerful technology, it's raising some really big questions, and it's moving a lot faster than our ability to answer them. So, in our final section, we have to ask, who writes the rules? And these are not easy questions. First off, there's authorship. If an AI helps you create a piece of art, who's the actual author? Then there's plagiarism. What does it even mean for something to be original in the age of AI? And finally, a really tough one, bias. What hidden assumptions from our world are being baked into these models from the massive amounts of data they're trained on? So as AI becomes our co-pilot in learning, in assessment, and in creation, we're left with one really crucial question. Who is actually navigating?